here, honestly. But yeah, it's going to be rounded out with the Malzahar. And this is a... Yeah, I mean, Arin's, I'm surprised the Alistar got all the way through all 5 bans. The Corki being taken out for Wibbly. Incredibly powerful champion. He's dominating pro play over the last couple of weeks, even months, since the rework that was meant to make him an ADC, but he's still being played mid. Obviously, I think... How is this matchup for Urgot, Hayden? We are in properly. We have this short pause because there was a pause immediately after the game started to alert us to the banned skins. There is a list for the banned skins, it is in the... If you go into UNL Hub in the main server, there's a rulebook, and there's a list of the banned skins in there. I know off the top of my head, Queen of Hearts Syndra's banned, the Cat Blitzcrank skin is banned. In fact, I'm pretty sure Syndra has 3 banned skins.
Yeah, I think it's mainly for, you know, those who are colorblind.
Yeah, because the I know the water one as well. I forgot the actual name of the skin, but the one that's like when you throw the Q.
Queen of Atlantis or something like that.
Yeah, the Atlantean. That's what it is. Yeah, because when you throw the Q, you get a little splash. It's really satisfying.
Yeah, the Blitzcrank skin, for example, has a different taunt, which makes it look like he might be throwing his hook.
Yeah. I think as well, the other one that I remember off the top of my head is I don't think it's called Resistance, but it's part of the Resistance skin line, the Victor one.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, it's more or less anything that becomes hard to see for various people, or like, you know, if they're in River or anything like that. The majority of it has been requested skins, and the ones that are just generally banned in most tournaments. So
yeah, we've over the course of a couple of years adding and removing skins, we've reached a list pretty much.
Yeah, true damage echo as well, because it walks weirdly.
Going for a big trade onto Amari. Trading all the way down. It's a lot of HP lost. Right, I think the Corki does pretty substantially outsustain the Malzahar though, so these are the kind of trades you want to be taking.
Interesting. The Corki E always does a surprising amount of damage.
Yeah, it's just because you're removing all the armor and then the auto attacks are basically true damage. Because one thing that like I kind of realized somewhat recently is how much damage like there actually is in the game if armor and magic resist were to not exist. Like how I didn't realize how much of a difference it actually makes. Because it's sort of you don't really notice it just from looking at like raw damage numbers. Yeah, nothing particularly too crazy in the first couple of levels.
Yeah, I don't think anything's overly surprising in terms of runes or sums.
Yeah, the Ornn can opt in for the early Warden's Mail, which reduces Urgot's damage to basically 0 in the laning phase. But
only through his W.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would expect to see this top lane wave state for a lot of the game.
Yeah, something like this, yeah. Rin's, bit of early damage onto Granny. Smolder stacking up nicely.
Is Zeri always struggling to fight within a minion wave? Just off the way that her auto attacks work.
Yeah.
Mercutio coming for an early gank though.
Oh, Renz, I think, missed the WQ there. Chop is here. He's going to land the Q. The steadfast presence is enough to keep him away. He's going to stun him into the wall. It's a lot of damage from the Poppy, and Renz is going full send forward here. Mercutio is still following Chop. Very, very careful to not step up one little bit too many. Did clear a lot slower than Chop, granted. He's a little bit behind in CS now. A level down as well.
That's it. It's going to be a bit of a disjointed jungle clear now for Mercutio. But going for that crab beforehand.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. As we know, Granny Spanner, a known hater of Alistar. Arin's is going to get caught out by the Rel W. There's a lot of damage coming out from Jonah. Falling a little bit low on mana, granted. Chop is here. Shadeless just needs to survive long enough for his jungler to come and help. Yumumu is here. Chameleon gonna have to flash away. I think maybe he could have got away without it there. I'm not quite too sure. I think Chop probably should have held the bandage toss for a little bit longer.
I think it's better to be safe than sorry in that situation. If Shadeless had
for sure.
actually turned around rather than going through Alcove, it definitely would have forced it. But I think it's fine. I think Kama will be alright with that. You know, able to pick up the wave. It would have been a pretty sad death for Urgot.
Yeah.
Oh, CJ nearly able to stop that back.
Yeah, so the way... I can't fact check this because I can't see his secondary runes. But one of the reasons that makes Corki so oppressive in mid lane this season is because I assume he's taken the Jack of all trades rune. And how this works is when you have D-Blade, if you get defensive boots very early, specifically whatever defensive boots like enemy mid laner would require you to buy, you get your 5 stacks of Jack of all trades, and you can basically just stat check anyone. You just walk up to them and just hit them. It doesn't really matter how you play it, you're still going to win, because you just your numbers are so much higher than theirs, and you have defensive boots against them specifically. So, you know, once he does get the boots, he really, it indirectly increases his damage because of the Jack of all trade stacks, and it is like a lot, and it will get a lot harder for Joe as this laning phase goes on. I cannot call him Amari. I know I should on stream, but I can't. Chameleon, he's very, very far up, doesn't have that flash available, does still have the E. Makusco is here. I'm pretty sure this fight, I was going to say, would be favourable for T4T, but the best of support is here. He's going to go in with the flash W. Chameleon is caught out, and he is going to fall. Makusco going to get away with his life. Chop just about manages to survive from that Urgot ultimate. Died just in time to get him back up. A really, really good roam from CJ Shaw.
It'll be a sticky spot for Amari as well. He's going to have to burn the ult.
The Nethergrass is going to come out. I can't actually see Whibley's HP, and he's going to have to dodge the Q. This might be a solo kill for Amari. The solo kill on this Malzahar. Whibley just not ready for the amount of damage came out from that Nethergrasp. Rins just not letting this Zeri back into lane. This CJ roam is losing so much in bot lane. Chameleon is going to get caught out by the bandage toss. The E does land, and Chop just about going to survive. Another kill for CJ. Chameleon trying to find his way back into this lane to try and get Chop off the back of this fight. Chop's going to go back in with the bandage toss. It's going to be enough, and Amari might find himself in no man's land here. Going to win with a W. Just about going to get away with his life. Whibley not quite letting him get away yet. Amari doesn't have that flash available. I think Corki probably has the damage for this. Not quite. Not going to let him base, but look how much Zeri is losing on this bot side. Level 4 still. Granny Spanner. The entire tower almost gone. This is an absolute disaster for the best in slot bot lane. But Rins might have taken one step too far forward, and that advantage is going to be diminished very, very slightly. Junna potentially next on CJ's list, tanking tower as he gets away from that E. Might have to flash over the wall here. The Q is going to land. He's going to use the flash to get away. Granny Spanner doesn't have that E available yet.
As much as best in slot were going to be upset, you know, despite making some good gains in the top lane, losing a lot on the Zeri bot, that's going to help it a fair bit, getting a kill back.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a 300 gold difference now, but I think the big problem lies in the XP difference that will come of this, along with the fact that the tower is almost gone. First dragon, though, over to best in slot. Oh, that's an interesting interaction. Chameleon already struggling on these trades, has fallen behind to this Ornn early. Such a nightmare of a champion to deal with from behind. CJ, the steadfast presence not available. He's not going to be able to get back over the wall. He's just going to fall. And Amari, 2 kills now. Chameleon playing with fire.
In that situation as well.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, it's because Skill was waiting for an opportunity to run into bot lane there. Oh, Shadeless gets caught out by that Urgot E. The Urgot ulti is available. Just one more auto attack and it's going to be the solo kill. Shadeless biting off a little bit more than he can chew. And the solo laners of T4T emerging victorious in this early game.
And it's something that we spoke about beforehand, is Kama being able to apply that pressure that maybe wouldn't have been so expected coming into the season.
Yeah.
But it is definitely looking like it could be a significant factor going the full way through. Particularly considering the start that Mercutio had, I'd have liked to have seen a bit more from Chop so far. Both junglers probably behind the curve on XP because there's been so much activity. But Amumu does farm better than Poppy, despite not being the greatest farming jungler. Mercutio hasn't got as much out of the map as he probably would have wanted to at this stage. But I think you'd probably say the same for Chopper here.
Yeah.
Alistar heading topside, I think that will be to look for grubs.
Yeah.
Assumedly. So either CJ is going to be responding in the same way and heading up now, or you'd hope that TY Futura will be punished in the bot lane for it. Racking up a few stacks here on the Smolder. I'm not sure what count he's at now, but... And yeah, 4-man there. I think they should just be sacking these grubs. That top wave is not in the healthiest of states.
Yeah, I mean, they've already got 3 best in slot, so, and a dragon, so they are leading pretty substantially in the objectives game anyway, so don't they really mind. It's a TP coming out, and Kama Chameleon is very, very, very dead here. No need for any ultimates or anything used. Wibbly getting his name on the board finally. And Jenna's going to be caught up with a flash Q from CJ. So well played from this Rel. The ultimate's going to come out. Jenna going to be able to return 1 kill in the end. A lot used on that. I think overall, Smolder isn't too displeased with that outcome.
I think that probably went as well as it could for the Smolder. I always personally get caught out by the heal on the Smolder ult. It's not something I expect, and that paired with the barrier meant that he could live long enough for CJ to have to get
Chop
right out.
trying to catch Mercutio out here. Amari's coming. Does have that Nether Grasp available, but they're gonna wait this one out.
Chop could be
And
caught
Chop
here.
is caught in a world of hurt. The Amumu ult does come out. This might not be too bad. In fact, it's going to be even worse than we thought. Shadeless. That Urgot ultimate goes completely wide, and he's actually going to be able to get out with the flash. He is going to get out in the end. Kama Chameleon's ult sending to Florida. The flash as well, really, really well timed.
Very well played from Shadeless there to rescue what looked like it was going to be a fairly catastrophic situation. And are we going to get a roam behind the Smolder here? Dragon coming up fairly soon.
CJ looking for something here.
I think
Arin's gonna flash forward.
Good flash from Granny Spanner, but that will not be up for the dragon fight. CJ gonna get stunned up.
Oh, that bandage toss was nowhere near, and it still landed. The Rel ult coming in as well. Poppy ult goes completely wide. They might look for something back here. There's a lot of low HP bars. First kill is going to go to Mercutio. Directed cameras sends us back up to top lane. And the Smolder ult are going to come out. I don't think it's quite going to be enough to finish off either of those kills. If we get a stack check on this Smolder right now, sitting at 125, which is really, really good for this point in the game. It's a very scary dragon. Wibbly might look for something onto Amari here. Does get that refreshed E from the Malefic Visions. Arin's making his way into mid lane. If Amari can find a Nether Grasp here, I think Wibbly is dead.
And we've got a near enough perfectly even gold count in this game. Both teams going at it, both sides of the map. Really interesting.
Yeah.
And this one's been a banger so far. I hope it continues.
Yeah. T4T starting up this dragon. Mercutio getting low. I think they're going to choose to just leave it behind in the end. They already have one dragon up. We're going to be staring down a Hextech Soul this game. Very, very powerful. One of the very, very powerful ones.
I mean, if anything, the portals are going to mean that we get more activity going through the jungle. And there's already been plenty this game.
Yeah.
And they could be setting up for a dive in the bot lane here. No, because Mercutio is gonna... No, is he gonna back off? I don't think he knows yet. Chop coming up to the top lane.
The train is out. Chameleon for the 4th time this game being sent to the graveyard. Zeri going to fall in this bot side fight. CJ, I think, not going to be able to get out with his life here. Arin's going to trade 1 kill back in the end, but this Smolder is getting stronger and stronger.
I'll be picking up a couple of the kills that, you know, would be a lot scarier if they'd ended up on the Smolder, but you'd rather have them than not. Shateless was able to get quite a few plates, I think, this game as well, so it wouldn't shock me if gold count is fairly swayed in the way of best in slot, which isn't how the lane's been playing individually, but yeah, picking up quite a bit of gold. And
Yeah, and Shadeless just
Yeah,
steps up one little bit too far here. Gonna get knocked back in. Times the W very well, but that Urgot ulti gonna be enough to take him down in the end. Not quite, in fact. He is gonna fall.
The Arin's having just completed his boots as well. He has traveled the distance. Amari's been slowly racking up a fair bit of gold here as well.
Yeah, he's a very strong Malzahar.
4 stacks on the Dark Seal. And going for double burn, which is going to be painful to play against with a Smolder on top.
Arin's seeing, can he catch Chop out here as he walks back into his jungle? Gonna choose to not in the end. Goes back in. Shadeless is TPing to this top tower. Arin's is gonna look for the dive. Chop is here and Arin's knows. I think this play might not be worth, yeah.
So yeah, both bot lane just having moved to the mid lane, but like we saw from earlier, Yuna is 2 levels up on Granny Spanner.
Arin's showing his face in the mid lane. Chop. Have another stack check on the Smolder, sitting at 175.
That is hefty.
Shadeless is going to get cut out. It's a huge curse to the Sad Mummy. The Ornal's going to quit as well. Really, really big Smolder ult as well, but this looks like a really good fight for best in slot so far. Shadeless having to flash away. Granny Spanner is stacking up that passive. It's absolutely massive for best in slot. Amari is not here yet. Does have that Nethergrass available. He's going to flash forward. He's going to get nobody with it. CJ going to die out to the burn. Nethergrass used onto Wibbly. Granny Spanner is here though. I'm not sure why. Why is he not helping? And Amari picks up 2 kills.
Granny Spanner could go... No, he's probably going to be able to E away, but Amari saving what could have been a really, really hefty loss in the team fight there.
I think Granny, I think he needed to just walk up and just hit the Malzahar. I'm not quite sure. I could be completely wrong about that. It was very, very close.
I think he was concerned that E would just kill him.
Very careful here, Granny. Yeah.
That he went onto Wibbly instead and he burned away. So
this game is so close. It's so close.
I mean, I don't want to jinx it and have it go the wrong way, but this is probably already a contender for game of the season.
Yeah.
Probably fairly impossible to call with any certainty which way it's going to go at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest goal difference in the game by far is Amari, 2,300 ahead of Wibbly on the Malzahar. CJ is going to get caught. Using the W, just about getting away with his life. The Shadeless is going to get caught by this Urgot E. A lot of damage. Rins is quite low, granted. Didn't go for that Warmogs first. He's going to base with that Empowered Recall from the boots.
Shadeless getting fairly punished for trying to get a couple trades back on rather than just soaking the farm.
Baron is up. Aren's big engagement. I don't think he's going to be able to get anything from this. As the bandage toss available to try and catch him. And Mari is here though. This could be a really, really big fight for the Mazahar. The Curse of Stab Mummy's going to come out. Wibbly, I think, is burning enough to fall potentially. Chop is going to go down to Nether Grasp as well. And it's another kill in top lane. And it's an absolute disaster for Best in Slot. In a matter of seconds, the game went from somewhat even to really, really rough. Have another stack check on Smolder. Just hit that execute just now.
Thank you for tutorial are being able to just sort of push small leads and turning them into nice differentials here at the moment. And that's the only thing that's separating the two sides.
And the Baron goes down. Zeri is soon to follow. And CJ will be next. Wibbly. They're going to be able to find something here. The Ornult is going to come out. It's a lot of damage from this Amumu. But so much more from Junna on the Smolder. Wibbly trying to escape with his life. Shadeless, I think, should be able to get away, courtesy of the Blast Cone. Arins, once more, he's going to find the knock-up. And they're both going to fall. And I think that might be that for Best in Slot's first game of the season.
Arins being able to headbutt the Orn and then be in Q range of the Corki there is gonna hurt.
Yeah. Really, really well played game from Amari in particular. Arins looking for something.
Mulder is becoming a significant problem.
CJ finds Amari with the Q.
Mari is 5 levels up on the support. Both solo laners being level 14 and the closest to them, and Yuna as well being level 14. The XP differential has really stacked up this game, and we're starting to see the effects of it. They're just not really able to compete anywhere near the same level.
Look at that damage on the... That was one Malzahar E. Good grief. Amari not letting anyone in.
I think Best in Slot have seen the game fly away from very quickly here. You know, it was even for so long, and then DY Tutorial just pushed the small advantages and turned them into big ones fairly quickly.
Malzahar did pick up that that Mejai's courtesy of Hawksbill.
He did a full item in front of the Corki as well. It's tough to see how Best in Slot are going to be able to get back into this one. They need a couple big team fights to go their way. They just really need to be waiting out this Baron and getting some experience in, because they're just so far behind in levels.
Oh, it's a big engage here. The Curse of Samuel is going to come out and catch 3. Jutta being one of those 3. The Smolder going to fall instantly. That could be the fight they were looking for. Granny Spanner, he's way too far forward here. He's going to fall. The Orn ulti going to come out as well. And he is next on the chopping block. The Magi's Curse manifests itself. And Best in Slot find what they needed. Still
picking up a lot of gold there.
Yeah, still a dire situation, but it's a step. It's a big step in the right direction.
You know, the game would be a very different landscape right now if those 2 700 gold shutdowns had gone onto the Corki. But Amumu's burn, I think, took him away.
Yeah. Chop's found some. He's found some good ults this game.
Some very big ults. Some very big ults. It's you know, especially against the Poppy, Amumu's probably gonna be your best hope of getting on there. You know, you're trying to just nick the Smolder with the Curse of the Sad Mummy. A teleport coming in, so they are gonna push this mid lane because they really want to get onto Soul Point.
The third Drake for T4T.
Apologies if you can hear the background noise from me because my parrot is going sicko mode.
A lot of vision control from T4T. BAS finding it difficult to walk up anywhere. Chop finds a way in. I think he's way too far forward here. And he's just gonna fall.
Potentially a miscommunication there, but that could have been a 5v4 with the Urgot still in the bot lane.
Having a look at the Smolder stacks again. 314. I'm not sure if we can actually see... No, we can't see what it's giving him, but... Wibbly might be caught out here. The Orn ultimate is going to come out. Not going to find anything with that massive train in that skin. Chunna is very strong. Does have that RFC coming up next. Gives him a little bit of safety when it comes to the Amumu and the Cork in his area potentially.
Smolder operating at nearly 10 CS per minute as well is a big factor here on why they're doing so much damage.
Yeah, I think the champ is really good in UNL. I think he is. I would like to see him more.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Smolder, like we did towards the end of last season.
Yeah.
Particularly with a fair few higher point players in the solo lanes on top of ADC.
Yeah. Rin's so far up, and his team is just so far ahead. He's going to be able to walk out with his life there. T4T set their sights on this Baron. Granted.
Wibbly's still in the bot lane.
Taking a lot of damage. Wibbly's going to TP up. They're going to go for the full contest here. Rin's trying to knock the jungler away. It's going to be enough. The Baron is going to go down. BIS are going to take the fight. I don't think they want this. It's a big rel engage with the Magnet Storm. No one has fallen quite yet. It's an absolutely massive smolder. Oh, and the Nether Grasp and BIS, one by one, are going to fall. Junna flashes forward. His 2 next victims right in front of him. A triple kill. A quadra kill. And that is going to be the end of our game 2. T4T, a really good start to this season. The first team to 2 wins. Courtesy of a very fed Smolder.
I mean, that was more or less what we expected from T4T after yesterday. You know, having pressure in that top lane and turbo scaling through bot.
Yeah. Just going to put...
It was looking so good for Best in Slot for so long, so a lot of promise there from the debutants. But
yeah. BIS fighting as much as they can, but it does not matter. This Smolder is too strong. The Nexus HP slowly falling lower and lower. The ult going to come out. The Nethergrass going to come out. Smolder, 4 more kills. They're going to look for the Penta. They're not going to find it. 2 quadra kills and an unofficial Penta. And T4T now alone at the top of the standings.